especially in South Africa. Hey there. Today's vlog is my name is Likhona Entle Tata. I am 20 years old, currently located in Johannesburg, South Africa. Today's date is the 28th of May 2026, and the purpose of this video is to go in depth on how I plan to achieve the goals that I've set out to achieve, and why am I even doing these specific career paths, basically, because I remember I did promise that on my first video. But before we start, just wanted to say hi. I know I did say hi. I want to say hi again to the viewers who are giving these videos a chance, even though I know they're not like the best. And I want to give a special hello to future me. I hope you're also enjoying these videos, and I hope you're doing well. I've had a not so good day, but I think it was just a few hours of it not being good, but I think the rest of it was okay. It's still, what's the time? It's still 4, so the day is not over yet. So I won't say it's been a horrible day. I would say a few hours of my day have been not so good. But yeah. Anywho, let's get started. So I'm gonna start with the first pillar, which is Monolith Industrial Group, and I'm going to explain that, and then after that I'm going to explain social media management. So it's broken up into 2, and then after that I'm just going to give you like an update on how things have been going so far. So 3 points. So pillar 1, which is Monolith Industrial Group, and then point 2 is social media management, and then the last point is just an update on my progress and me, like how am I doing. I don't know, but yeah. So if you do find me looking there, it's because I've like listed the things that I want to say, because I think I was scared I might forget some things that I want to say. So I just wrote them down on my laptop, so to make sure that I get every point across. So we'll start with the first phase. So why am I even building the ecosystem, which of course I mentioned in my last video? It encompasses logistics, construction and building materials, and real estate development. So that's what it is, just in case if you maybe forgot from the previous video. So why am I building this thing? So reason why I am is because I think from a very young age I've always known I wanted to own or have my own business. I've always known I wanted to build something like that. And then I think as I grew, I know I'm not that old, so when I'm saying when I was younger, please like think when she was 13, 14, that's what I mean, you know. But yeah. So then when I grew, I think around grade 7, we were introduced to, there was a subject we had, I think it was it was EMS. I forgot what the abbreviation was. I think some other South African student would know, but I think it's Economic Management Service. I'm not sure. But EMS, we were introduced to that subject at grade 7. And one of the topics in that subject were entrepreneurship. And that's where my understanding of what building a business started to grow. And I no longer said I wanna build my own business, I wanna be my own boss. I used to say that a lot. I no longer said that. I used to say I wanna be an entrepreneur. And then when someone would ask me what an entrepreneur is, I would be able to say it because it was a topic we were doing. It was a unit we were doing at school. We even had a project on it. So it kind of broadened my understanding of what entrepreneurship is. I was able to define it even more. And then I was also able to understand the characteristics someone needed to have to be a successful entrepreneur. So I am really grateful to whoever set up that unit and whoever does the subjects, I think Department of Education or whoever, and the teacher who taught it to me made me understand it even more. So my vocabulary was elevated, and it was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneur. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an entrepreneur. So yeah, and then with that idea in mind of entrepreneurship, then it came to the point where now I have to find what path of entrepreneurship am I really gonna take, because you can't just say you want to be an entrepreneur. What kind of entrepreneur, what industry do you want to get into, right? So that started being the conversation that I was having with myself. So what exactly am I going to build, in what industry, where, so I think I've had a variety of ideas. One thing about me is I think I'm very good when it comes to idea generation. It's just sometimes I have that lack of drive or push to make it successful. I think that's one of my flaws. But when it comes to thinking about fresh ideas, I think I'm very, very good at that. But yeah, so I had a lot of variety of ideas growing up. I even thought I would open like a chicken farm because that was like successful back then. I mean, it still is now, but it was like booming back in high school. I'm not sure what grade, but I think still grade 8. I'm not sure, but yeah. So, but one thing I noticed was that there was a repetition with specific choices that I had. So some of the choices that I had, the more prominent ones that I had, was real estate, it was architecture, it was civil engineering, and development, right? And then I started to notice that they all had the same denominator, which was infrastructure. And that's when my curiosity with engineering started happening. And then I think when I reached grade 9, that's where we start choosing the specific modules that are required for the courses we want to take in university. That's when I think I realized that I'm not a really good math person, so I'm not good at calculating the technical numbers or the granular measurements. I've never been able to do that. So I think me being self-aware at that age helped a lot. But I did also recognize in myself that I do have the vision and I do have the drive to, rather than me being the one doing the calculations, I could gather people, a team that could do that. And I think that's like another thing that put us them that girl, you really like, oh, an entrepreneur. So yeah. I've always been drawn into infrastructure, I think, building things. And I think I've always really had a knack for doing the impossible. And this is truly something I believe is I do believe it's possible, but it's so close to being near impossible for someone like me. But I don't think that's something that's going to stop me, because I do want to be in that environment. I want to be in that environment. I think I would thrive in that environment. And yeah, that's why. Okay, so why did I choose the name monolith? For anyone who doesn't know, a monolith is a singular, powerful structure that withstands the difficulties of time. And I feel like it is a perfect representation of all my diverse interests all stacked up into this one singular self-sustaining ecosystem. And then more than that, I also believe it's a perfect representation of who I am. I am an unmovable, unshakable force of nature. So I think it represents me and my interests and what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build a legacy, something that's going to last not months, not weeks. It's going to last years, decades even. That is the dream. That is what I'm trying to achieve. And I think the name Monolith, this represents that in the best way possible. That is a logistics broker, and why I choose to start there. Well, for anyone who doesn't know, of course, you can also go to Google just to make sure that the understanding is still the same. But logistics broker or a freight broker, still the same thing, is someone who connects shippers, who are the clients, to carriers, who are the drivers, the people who own the trucks and the fleets. A logistics broker doesn't own any physical stuff like a warehouse or trucks or a fleet. The only thing a logistics broker owns is a diverse network of shippers and carriers. Basically, we connect them. So shippers who are looking for carriers with specific track requirements, I'm the person they come to. They're like, Likhona, we got this delivery that needs to be made at this point and at this point, and we need this truck, vada. And I check, I'm like, okay, I can connect you with someone. And then yeah, we connect, and then they but yeah, you guys get it. Like I said, you can go to Google for like a more in-depth understanding of it. But I do think the way I'm describing it is like quite clear. You know, you don't need like kind of definition. But yeah, that's what a logistics broker is. They are orchestrators, and yeah. And why I chose to start there. I chose to start with logistics brokerage because of its scalability, especially due to the logistics gap that is currently going and that is negatively affecting our economy. Okay, so tools I plan to use to track loads and to track loads. So I plan on using Google Calendar. That's something that I currently use for scheduling my study time and school classes, Google calls. Basically my whole life is on my Google Calendar. So I plan on using that for scheduling client meetings and follow-ups. And then I am a Notion girl. Will always be a Notion girl. So for that one, I'm currently using it as a goal tracking. I'm currently using it as a goal tracking and blueprinting my journey. So basically I have it's like an office space where I have a section for monolith industrial group. So anything to do with that, I just fill it in there, obviously in a more well constructed way, you know. But yeah, just blueprinting my steps, like this is what I want to do within maybe this month. And then and then I'm also going to be using it as my CRM tool and my TMS tool, ne? So what is CRM is customer relationships management. That's where you manage your clients and your carriers, right? The emails, contact details, track communication. Basically, it's that, right? Yeah, it's that. And then TMS is where you track the load. So from being dispatched to arriving at the needed venue, to loading the products, to moving with the products until it's being offloaded, and then invoice, and then proof of delivery. So basically it tracks the load in these steps, ne? So it keeps you updated. You keep track on where it is. That's what it is. So I plan on using Notion for that, because CRM tools and TMS tools is something you gotta pay for, right? They got subscriptions and membership deals. And as we know, your girl is a broke student and she doesn't have that much. And I'm not currently working with like 100 clients. So my goal is like to at least get 5 or 6 clients this year. So for now, Notion will work, and I've already built that system. And then for communication, I plan on using WhatsApp. WhatsApp is like creme de la creme of South Africa. That's like one mode of communication we use in South Africa. So I plan on using WhatsApp business to communicate with my strippers and my drivers, you know, because I don't want them downloading an app they don't know. So I know automatically anyone here in South Africa has WhatsApp. It's very rare to find someone who doesn't have WhatsApp. And then for tracking, a mobile-based tracking app, I plan on using D-Track to be able to track drivers and give like ETAs, like this driver will be there in like 18 minutes. Is the gate open, or is there someone to receive, or is someone there to load? You know, things like that. Be able to know where your drivers are, things like that. And then for financial and invoicing tools, I plan on using, is it Xero, but it's spelled as Xero. That's how it's spelled. So I'm thinking it's Xero, because it sounds like zero, but it's not Z, so it's Xero. Anyway, that's what I plan to use as an invoicing and financial tracking tool for like when I'm doing my accounting and bookkeeping and stuff. But yeah, how do I plan on finding shippers and carriers? Okay, so I'm gonna read this because it's a lot. So number 1, how do I plan on finding shippers? So I plan on going to small to medium brickyards or independent quarries. So I'm gonna visit local industrial areas here in Joburg. I'm also gonna search in online directories for independent brick manufacturers, cement block yards, and sand and stone suppliers. I plan on visiting hardware wholesalers and building merchants. So independent building supply stores and regional wholesalers who supply cement, lintels, and aggregates in bulk for local builders. I also plan on approaching private home builders and owner builders. I'll be looking for active residential construction sites in expanding neighborhoods, or look at local community Facebook groups and hardware store notice boards. So the private home builders and owner builders, I think that was mostly inspired by my parents. My parents are currently building in Eastern Cape, like their homes, both my mom and my dad. They're not together, so it's not one house, it's different houses. But anywho, family drama. Anywho, they both are building, and my mom has been going back and forth to Eastern Cape quite recently, and she's been building just like I think a house. And she had mentioned in one call how difficult it is for her to find logistics people who can carry the products and the bricks, the cement, to where the construction site is, and the ones that are offered by the wholesalers, example, I don't know if it is, I'm just using an example, let's say Boulders warehouse, they could have like a very expensive transportation prices and price ranges, and she sometimes struggles to pay for this, so then she has to actively hunt for people she knows that have trucks to be able to deliver that, and sometimes she just has to use the ones that the company is providing. So I thought that is also a business opportunity, is it not? Like, I don't have to go only to establish businesses. I could help even home builders, offer them a more cheaper price, because it's probably going to be one or two loads. Could offer them maybe a cheaper price, where they could recommend me to other people they know who are building homes. It's a market in itself, so I'm going to also be exploring that. I'm not gonna just look aside and be like, no, I'm only gonna work for established businesses. I'm also going to be helping individual home owners and home builders. And yeah. And then, how do I plan on finding carriers? So with carriers, I'm hoping I can find about about 5 to 7 carriers. I'm hoping. So where do I plan on hunting these people? Local industrial hubs and hardware exit points. Also using local digital freight marketplaces. In South Africa, they have transport directories and online load boards like Lemmy Lorry, Trans Hub, or loads.co.za. And then there I can find small verified transport companies looking for, connections and work. And then I could also use social media groups, maybe join a South African transport group on Facebook or WhatsApp, like the Truck Movers SA, Tipper Trucks South Africa. And then I could contact small fleet owners who constantly post their available empty trucks. That's my plan. Obviously, that's not all of it. I think along the way, maybe I'll find even more ways to approach both shippers and carriers, but for now, this is the game plan. This is where I plan on calling or messaging and communicating with people. But yeah, so that is all on the monolith industrial group side, and now we're going to go to the social media management side. Okay, so social media management, and then after this we're only left with an update on how things have been going so far. I also want to mention, before I start with the social media management part, that I am not an expert in any of the things that I have mentioned or yet to mention in this video. I am just someone who is experimenting and trying out different paths and seeing which one works. So please don't take my words verbatim or quote them, because I'm just experimenting. I could be wrong on so many levels. But yeah, please know I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be. I'm just someone who's learning and teaching others maybe who would also like to learn, and just documenting my journey. Yeah. Okay, without further ado, the why. Why am I doing social media management? What attracted me to doing social media management? With social media management, I don't think it was like a hardcore backstory, like when I was younger I always wanted to do this. No, it's more about the aesthetic of it. I find it very aesthetically pleasing as a career course, and I think it would suit me quite well. Not to mention, there's a lot of monetary opportunities in it. I know, and I also consider it as a niche career choice, even though I know there are people out there who might disagree with me, because there has been kind of like some saturation on the social media management kind of career. But I do still think it's very niche-ish, because not a lot of people consider doing it as a career. So yeah, another thing that I'm attracted to is that it's a niche and it's got money and it's very aesthetically pleasing. I also like the flexibility and the freedom it provides. I've worked in an office setting. I've also worked in sales for Pick and Pay clothing. I've also worked for Teleperformance, which was a call center. And I don't like not being free, you know. I like to be wherever I want to. So I like the freedom and the flexibility that it provides. So yeah, that is my why. Not that deep. And then defining the role. What is social media management? Okay, now I'm gonna read this. So I just want to quickly clear one thing up. So on what actually social media management is, because I think there's a lot of misconception online. A lot of people tend to think it's just like posting pretty pictures and then commenting on a person's page that you're managing. I mean, that is part of social media management, but it is not social media management as a whole. That is just like a small part of it, you know. For me, as someone who wants to work for high profile brands, it goes much deeper than just posting pretty pictures and commenting on their Instagram or TikTok page or Facebook page. It's essentially you are essentially the architect of the brand's entire digital identity. And you have to balance the creative side of making a feed look visually stunning with the strategic side of tracking analytics to see what actually works. So analytics is a very, very big part of social media management, guys. It's not just the posting of pretty pictures. I mean, someone can hire you to do that. I'm not saying it's not, but many of them, they include the analytics part of it. So you need to know how to translate the analytics to actual stuff. Like you need to tell them what's working, what's not working, how can we improve, did we reach our goals, things like that, you know. How do I plan to leverage myself in an area where it could be saturated? I'm still not very convinced that it's that saturated. My ultimate vision is to work for high-profile developing brands in the fashion, beauty, and wellness spaces, managing their social presence and bringing their content to life. So to actually make that happen and increase my worth, I'm not just relying on good taste. I am actively utilizing my digital marketing and e-commerce course as a leverage, because in the beauty and fashion industries, a pretty feed isn't enough, and I need to understand how that aesthetic translates into e-commerce funnel that converts followers into loyal customers. So that is the strategy that I'm testing out, and stay tuned to see if it works. Client acquisition strategy. So how do I plan on getting the clients? So my current plan is to use, okay, so my current plan on client acquisition is to utilize Upwork, Fiverr, LinkedIn, and posting on Facebook groups. The last one I'm not so sure about, but I am willing to take any opportunity that's there. There's really not that much, nothing to lose from me posting jobs on Facebook groups, so I plan on utilizing that also. I've already put together a portfolio, and I know it's not like the best out of there, because I haven't yet had that much experience, so I know it's not the best out there, but it's still uploaded on all my LinkedIn, Fiverr, and Upwork. It's there, and clients can see it when they are checking me out. So yeah, I'm gonna improve it obviously once I start getting experience, but for now it it exists. It exists, and I think that's the most important part. It's not the perfection, it's that it exists. And honestly, I'm just willing to shoot my shot and just see what happens. So yeah, and I'm also aiming for 20 rejections. Reason why is because I think I'm very scared of people saying no. So I want to mentally train myself to accept when people say no and then just move on and try something else, not try something else like a different career. I mean, like, apply again to someone else, to not give up. So I'm aiming for 20 rejections. I'm just gonna turn it into a game and we'll see what happens. Got nothing to lose. I'm young, I'm 20 years old. If this doesn't work out, I can change career at any point. But yeah, think one thing that is important with the social media management part is just being consistent and not giving up, because I've been told that it can take time for a person to get a client, especially one that is a retainer. A retainer is someone who's going to hire you for let's say permanent job. So yeah, it's more of a waiting game and being consistent and not giving up. Could be 3 months, could be 4 months. As long as I keep pushing, I keep applying. When jobs are being posted, I will land a job. I'm hoping for maybe 2 or 1 good paying one. So yeah, fingers crossed. Cross fingers, guys, for me, please. So yeah, that's like my update on social media management. And then my life update just as a whole. So to my audience, and most importantly to future me who is currently watching this video, I just wanted to give you a quick update on the foundations that I've currently laid on Monolith and social media management course. So far, progress is real. It's getting more real. I think the more I start accomplishing things, the more closer I see myself getting. So I've drafted 2 solid contracts, one for shippers and one for carriers. I just need to send them over to like some small SME lawyers because they are cheaper. I just need them to like read through it and make sure that everything is solid. I'm trying to protect ourselves. We don't have insurance yet, so just in case if anything bad happens when that load is being transported, it doesn't come looking back at us. We are young, but we don't want debts at this age. So I've done that. I'm very happy to like have a contract with my name on it. I've been deeply educating myself on logistics insurance, of course, and my Notion dashboard has officially been upgraded to both my CRM and TMS tool to keep the whole operation structured. I mentioned that. We also officially own the domain monolith.co.za. That was 86 rand, but we own it. We own a domain name. And I'm currently building our first simple website on Wix. It's giving me a headache, but I'm doing it. It's giving me a headache because creating a website is not easy. Even if Wix does make it easier for you, it's still a lot of work. And like I mentioned, I opened a Capitec bank account, and the official logo and corporate colors have finally been locked in. I'm gonna show you the logo. And then on social media management and freelancing side, an update would be I've already applied to my first 6 jobs on Upwork. And right now I'm also busy crafting a client onboarding process and drafting service contracts. Like I said, I'm aiming for 20 rejections. Hopefully it won't actually be 20, it'll be 19 or 18. But yeah, and then I'll be applying for LinkedIn, Fiverr, and Facebook. So yeah, wish me luck on that, guys. So yeah, that is like update on how we are going so far. And then now update on how I am emotionally, mentally, physically, you know. I think biggest update, I think I'm gonna close this now. I think the biggest update I have for you is that I've been good to myself. I've been consistent in gym even though exam week is like here. Exam week hasn't started yet. We're still in study week. Exams start next week Monday, but it's here on Monday. But I've promised myself to at least go to gym 3 times this week, even if it's like 30-minute workout. It's still effective. But yeah, I've been good. I don't. I feel like this vision is becoming more real and real, and sometimes I tend to have self-doubt when I'm busy doing some of the work. But I think I keep reminding myself why I'm doing this and why I plan on achieving this. You know, I don't. Today was very draining. We had an assignment for organizational effectiveness, and my brain was, I've never had to push my brain that far, and I was shaking because it was like crunch time and time limit was approaching. It was a group assignment, but I think everyone was stressed, and yeah, so it was really bad. I even bought myself a Magnum ice cream. I bought myself a Magnum ice cream, even though it's expensive. It's 40 rand, but I thought, girl, you earned it after that marathon you did. I feel like my brain has gained some kind of muscle in there because I've never had to think so hard and communicate with so many people at the same time while you're actively thinking and writing down. So it was a lot. It was a lot. So I think that's when I said it has been a few hours that were just bad. It was those few hours when I was doing that assignment, but otherwise it's been okay. And I think doing this video has kind of lifted my spirits. But yeah, what else would I like to update you on? I don't have anything drastic to update because I think, okay, let's see. Mentally, on a scale of 0 to 10, how am I? I am an 8. I was a 10, 10 being bad, but now I think I'm an 8, and I'm gonna take a nap, and probably after the nap I'm gonna be 6, and then I'll be able to study. Physically, I think I'm okay physically. Emotionally, I think I'm also okay emotionally. I don't think I've had like moments where it's been bad, but I think the anticipation of me starting the client acquisition for both social media management and Monolith Industrial has gotten me both scared and excited. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'll make sure that I take you with me step by step. That is the point of these videos, just documenting how things go. Obviously it's gonna be successful because I do believe in myself and my capabilities, I know it's written in the stars that I'm going to be successful. But yeah, just a broke student with very high dreams, managing a company, freelancing, second year in university, and a short course. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good also. um I mean that to everyone who is watching that, not just to future me. I just mean that to everyone there. And I know I said these videos were specifically for future me, but it's not like I can prevent people from watching my videos. So to whoever is watching the videos, I hope you're also doing okay. Hope you're also, pushing for your dreams or doing something that you love or enjoy. But yeah, because I think I am. And I hope in some way, I know I haven't really done much impactful things, but I do hope that maybe some way, even if a little bit, that I inspire you to try and achieve what you want. Yeah, I've been living. But yeah, I think that's all for me. Stay tuned for my next video as I panic when I'm trying to get these clients, because I am so scared. I'm excited. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. So yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful still afternoon on my side. So I'm gonna say I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. If it's morning, hope you have a wonderful morning. If it's evening, hope you have a wonderful evening. If it's midday, hope you're having a wonderful midday. But whatever moment of the day you're in, I hope it's wonderful for everyone who's watching this video. But thank you for tuning in. It means a lot to me. Means that I'm not alone, but yeah, please don't like and don't subscribe, because I'm still trying to keep this on the down low. I don't want it, so don't like and subscribe. And love you so much, everyone. But yeah, mostly me. But yeah, bye.